Hey guys, welcome to Wicked Manny. Today I'm going to show you how to do these double stamped dinosaur nails. If you're comfortable stamping but you're not comfortable doing reverse stamping or you just don't like the process, then these nails are for you. I've done reverse stamping in the past and personally I just don't care for it. It takes forever and I always find that my decals that I'm making with the reverse stamping end up so thick and they just peel off my nails in a couple days. So this technique is an alternative to that, so you can skip reverse stamping if you don't want to do it. As usual, the links to all the products I'm using today will be below. So I'm starting out with this amazing flaky nail polish, and I'm going to put my liquid latex around the edges. You want to make sure that you get plenty of liquid latex on and get it around your nails as best as you can, because we're going to be doing a lot of stamping today. And you want to make sure that you don't get this stamping polish on your fingers because it can be a nightmare to clean up, especially if you're using black like I am. After my liquid latex is in place and dry, I'm going to get out my stamping plate. This is an amazing stamping plate by Creative Shop that has a bunch of dinosaurs on it and I absolutely love it to pieces. Now the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put down my copper stamping polish on the plate. I'm going to scrape off the excess, I'm going to lift up the design, and then I'm going to press it onto my nail. And I'm just going to do the same process for my middle finger and then again for my ring finger. So essentially, if you want this design the same way across all of your fingers, you're going to go ahead and just do it across all of them. But I'm just showing you my 3 fingers because it's the easiest to film those 3. Now I am not doing anything to the design on my first finger, so I'm just going to go ahead and do my black stamping on top of that now so you can see that process. So this is going to be the exact same process that we did with the copper. We're just going to use the black stamping polish now. We're going to scrape off the excess. We're going to lift up the design again with our stamper, and then we're going to stamp that over the copper design. And you'll want to do this so that you line it up so it's slightly off center of however you did the previous stamping so that you can see both colors side by side. And there you can see how you can see plenty of the black, but you can also see the copper as well. I'm going to switch my camera here so it's easier for you to see what I'm doing while I'm filling in some of the colors on this. Time for the macro lens. All right, so for this portion, you're going to need a tiny paintbrush, or like me, I'm using a water marbling tool because I just had it laying on my desk and it was easier. So what I recommend doing is taking some of the polish that you're going to use for this process and putting it somewhere easily accessible so you're not having to go back to the bottle every single time you need to fill in some of the color, because it's a huge pain and it takes 10 times as long as it needs to. I usually put it on an old piece of cardboard or an old color palette wheel, whatever happens to be. Just put the color somewhere accessible for you. Just do a tiny blob, like one at a time, just a dot, because it will start to dry and congeal, and then you're gonna have to use another dot, and then you're gonna waste a whole bunch of polish and you don't need to. So I'm just filling this in the best that I can with this green polish so that I can make it stick out from the design a little bit. Honestly, I should have picked a color that stood out way more than this, but I had only done this technique a couple times before, and this was my first time doing the dinosaur plate, so I'm sorry it doesn't have as much impact as it should have. Next time I will use brighter colors so that you can see them easier, but this was my first try doing this technique. I'm just gonna call it like coloring book nails because you're just coloring it in like it's a coloring book. So it's my first time recording this for a video and probably could have done a better job, but I just wanted to show you guys how I'd been doing this instead of reverse stamping because I just found it so much easier. Now, if you don't have a water marbling tool or a little paintbrush, you can do this with a toothpick, or you could probably do it with a larger needle. Just anything small and pointy you could do this technique with if you don't have paintbrushes. However, if you need paintbrushes, I have some in the link below. You should pick some up because if you're wanting to do nail art, you're gonna need paintbrushes at some point. Treat yourself. And I'm just gonna keep going along here, filling in these spaces. I've got a lot of the green. Then I'm going to fill in some of the pink inside the mouth of this dinosaur. And that's really going to be it for filling these in. Obviously, if you use a different design, you're going to need more colors and you may want them to be brighter than what I chose. You know, you can really do this with any stamping plate that would lend itself to reverse stamping, and it will just save you the step of turning this into a decal on your stamper. Okay, now comes the hard part. I cannot tell you how nervous I was about doing this on video. I was so afraid I was going to screw this up because I've done this with one other stamping plate with lines like this and it did not go well and it did not look this good. So let me tell you, these are going to take some practice and some getting used to. Even if you're really familiar with stamping, even if you're really familiar with double stamping, this can be difficult. And I made poor choices in what stamping plate I was using, and I am so lucky it turned out. The nail polish gods were smiling down upon me. And you'll notice while I was stamping my middle finger, I got some black stamping polish on my ring finger, but you know what? We're going to pretend it didn't happen because it still looks fine, and you're not going to be able to see it where the dinosaur is on my ring finger anyway. So there, yay, looks fine. Sorry about the cat hair fuzzy stuck in my nail. But you see, worked out good even though I messed it up. Looks fine. Looks like I meant for it to be that way. Happy accidents. I'm like the nail polish Bob Ross. Yay. Okay, so now I am just going to peel off the liquid latex that I've got on here, and then I'm going to clean these babies up. I usually peel off the latex off camera, but I thought I'd do something different today. Do you like seeing me peel off my liquid latex? Would you prefer if I did it off camera? Let me know in the comments below. Are you getting sick of dinosaur nails on my channel? Also let me know in the comments below, because I realized after I did this video that my last nail art video was also dinosaurs. So yeah, dinosaur themed. Maybe I should just have a dinosaur nail channel. Okay, now I'm going to clean these up and stop rambling about dinosaurs, I promise. I recommend if you're using black stamping polish like I am and you need to clean up around the edges, that you keep a clean paper towel beside you. So dip your paintbrush in pure acetone, then start to clean around the edge of your nail, and then wipe the residue from the paintbrush onto the paper towel before dipping it back in the acetone. It'll help keep the black from smearing all over your nail and getting into your cuticle, or at least making it less likely to happen. So definitely be sure to try that. Okay, now we're all cleaned up. We're pretty. Now, how about a top coat? Yeah, it's top coat time. This was another part that made me very, very nervous because the top coat can mess it up if the stamping's not completely dry. So it didn't mess up. And we did it, guys. We did it. You may think that all my hand-painted stuff is difficult, but let me tell you, these ones were difficult, and I was so scared I was going to mess them up every single step along the way. So I cannot tell you how happy I am these actually turned out how I wanted, and they look good. And I was completely thrilled to rock dinosaur nails all week long. And that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. If you like this video and you want me to do more dinosaur nails, please comment below, like up this video, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.